What is going on, Warriors? Jose Garza here, your Devil Doc, and today I have a special treat for you. I'm going to be going over what I consider or what I deem the most incredible claim that I have ever seen. This is an individual that did the claim on his own, went from 0 to 100, and you will see why. This is just crazy. Before we get into it, please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button so that I can continue doing this thing. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, what we're looking at here is the disabilities for this claim. This is page 1, and you can see here that he starts off with the big hitter, PTSD at 70%. But let me just say, these disabilities were not submitted in this order. These are sorted from high to low as far as what the percentage is. So just keep that in mind. They were not submitted in this order. So again, PTSD, the big hitter at 70%. He has another few unusual disabilities there, but you guys can pause the video here, take a look at those, but we're going to move on to the second page, which is very important. But before we do that, I want to point out a couple of things. So the first thing that I wanted to point out on page 2 before we get there is you're going to see the term painful motion. And that's important because this individual took advantage of what we see here. This is in the CFR regarding painful motion. And I'll go ahead and read that highlighted sentence to you. So it says, it is the intention to recognize actually painful, unstable, or maligned joints due to healed injury as entitled to at least the minimum compensatable rating for the joint. So you're going to see here on page 2 what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and take a look. So looking at page 2 here, this is what I'm talking about. Just take a look at that. Right, left, left, right, left, right. I mean, this guy covered every aspect of his anatomy here. But the important thing here is that we want to talk about what's called the bilateral factor. And I'll get to that in a minute. But notice here on the side, on the right-hand side here, that all of these things are basically rated at the minimum allowable rating. So he got 10% for each of these things, which is just incredible. Okay, and this is page 3, and you can see we just continue left, right, left, right. He is covering everything. We're down to his hip and his knees. Again, look at the percentages that he was granted for each of those disabilities. We also want to look at, as I mentioned before, I didn't hit it in the last image, that painful motion, what I was talking about. You'll see that if you scroll back, you'll see that all of these, most of these include painful motion in there. So 10% for each of these guys. This is 30 disabilities that he's listed so far. And here we're looking at page 4, Warriors, and you can see left, right, left. This guy has covered everything, and he continues to get 10% rating for that. You can see these muscle strains here, basically identifying every muscle in his body, claiming strain on each muscle, and he's getting 10%. Just incredible. Okay, before we get into page 5, folks, again, that's 50 disabilities that this guy is claiming. Before we get into page 5, folks, I want to talk about bilateral factor. Take a few minutes here and read this. Try to see if you can understand that. But basically, if you claim your left and right arm or leg or anything, any paired part of your anatomy, you're going to get what's called bilateral factor if they are both deemed to be service connected. If those disabilities are both deemed to be service connected, you are going to get a 10% bonus addition to those evaluations. And I'll show you right here in a quick example how that would affect your rating. Here you go. Okay, what we're looking at here is the Hilden-Ponton Disability Calculator. And you can see here, I'll try to keep up with the video, but if you were to be at 70%, 20%, 10%, 10%, and 10%, one more 10 I believe I'm going to put on there. There we go. look at your calculated rating down at the bottom right-hand corner at 84%, right? So same disabilities here. I'm going to clear this, and we're going to add a left arm and a right arm, and you're going to get that bilateral factor. You can see that down in the bottom right-hand corner. Basically, your calculated rating gets raised from 84 to 85%, which rounds you up to 90. So this is why it's important that when you claim something, a disability like your arm or legs, something that has a paired item, that you claim them individually. So you can get that bilateral factor applied if they are deemed to be service connected. So we're into page 5 here, and you start to see towards the bottom here that you start to see 0% service connection. So keep in mind, these are still service connected disabilities. They're just rated at 0%, and you guys might be familiar with that. You can be rated service connected with the 0% percentage rating. So you'll start to see that here. Again, this is page 5, 50 disabilities listed. Okay, we're into page 6 again. All service connected with 0% rating. But again, folks, service connected, 0% rating. This is just incredible. 60 disabilities listed on a single claim. And here on page 7, you'll start to see the disabilities that were not service connected. You can see there's just a percentage sign in the percentage column, not service connected there. So this is 70 disabilities listed on a single claim. And we're looking at page 8. We got 5 disabilities listed here. We're talking 85 disabilities put on a single claim. This individual got to 100 on his first claim, and it was just incredible. This is the most incredible claim that I've ever seen. And folks, go back, take a look at this. If there are any disabilities listed on this claim that you might want to claim, you might want to throw them in on your VA claim, your 526, before you submit it here. But this is one way to do it. This is an incredibly crazy way to do it, but this individual got it done on his own, and basically came in to find out what his benefits were after being rated 100%. So incredible. I hope you find this interesting. Remember, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so I can keep this thing going, and have a great day, warriors.